Hello to all the viewers. With me, I've got two toppers of the recently announced INI CET May 2025 examination. So first of all, hearty congratulations and welcome to Dr. Phillip, who is rank 6. And again, welcome to Dr. Vishal, another dear student, who is rank 16. So Vishal, the viewers would want to know, like, what was that first feeling when you saw that beautiful rank adjacent to your roll number?
So first it was a moment of surprise, as I had not expected such a good rank. Then I had to recheck my answer rank 2-3 times.
Okay.
I made my family recheck it. So initially I was very surprised, but then later it turned out to obviously happiness, joy.
Right. But at some point of time during your preparation, did you manifest this? Like, did you think that, okay, I should get a rank like this for INI CET?
Yes, I think everyone who prepares for this has manifested it at some point of time, because it serves as a motivation for us,
right,
to continue preparing further.
Right. So Phillip, how is it to see a rank, a single-digit rank, adjacent to your roll number for this examination?
Sir, I wanted to get a rank within 100 because I wanted one clinical seat in INI.
Okay.
So I was praying to get one.
Okay.
But I was not sure I'll get one within 10.
Okay.
So I was really surprised that I got a rank within 10.
Right.
And obviously I became happy.
Right. Is it the first time in your life that you've got a single-digit rank, or you are used to this getting, in colleges like that?
No, sir. I'm actually just an above average student in college.
Okay.
So I used to get ranks like 9, 10, just within the college only.
Right.
So within the university, I was never a topper.
Right.
So I was just an above average student. So
right.
This was a surprise for me.
Right. Got it. So Vishal, the viewers would want to know more about you. And first we'll start with this. In which college did you do your MBBS from?
So I did my MBBS from Government Medical College, Calicut, also known as Kozhikode.
Okay. So GMC Calicut, that is Kozhikode. In fact, that happens to be the college where I did my post-graduation in general medicine from. So Vishal, can you just take us through your journey in Calicut Medical College, not just academic, but also how your life evolved through these years through Calicut Medical College?
Yes, sir. I had joined Calicut Medical College when I was a mere 17-year-old. Okay. So stepping into the anatomy lab with such great professors who were there to teach me. Also that it was for the first time that we are given a chance to explore ourselves freely, to do what we want to without any restrictions. Okay. So naturally that evolves, helps us evolve into a new personality, a much more mature personality. And I would also like to thank my college very much for the exposure it gave me, both in a clinical sense, we had a vast amount of patients. In addition to that, various aspects of life as well. So I'm very grateful that I've done my MBBS in such a college.
Right. And I'm sure that the kind of bonding that people share in Calicut is also something that has surprised me. I've done my post-graduation, as I said, from that particular college, and there is a lot of bonding between people, yes, in that part of the state. And Calicut is also known for food. Yes, sir. So any delicacies you've got to suggest to the viewers?
Obviously, when you come to Calicut, it's the biryani is a must try. In addition to that, the local fish fries was something that I personally liked.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. So Phillip, coming to your academic journey. So you did your MBBS from Government Medical College Trivandrum, yes, right? Again, that is the college where I did my MBBS and my super specialization from. So Phillip, can you just take us through your MBBS journey? Like, how good was your college in training you?
Sir, I am a 2018 batch student in Trivandrum Medical College.
Okay.
So the exposure that I get there is immense. The faculty are also really keen on teaching you and training you. And the postgraduate students there, they were also really interested in teaching us aspects of clinical scenarios. So even theoretical knowledge they impart on us during the clinical postings.
Right.
So in that way, it was really awesome for me.
Right. So that is Phillip's journey in GMC Trivandrum. Vishal, see your journey for PG medical entrance preparation. I just want to know, at what point of time did you start your preparation? Was it early on during your MBBS days or maybe post-internship?
Yes, sir. So I had started my PG entrance preparation later on.
Okay.
I'd started thinking about it itself since towards the end of my house urgency.
Okay.
Since my house urgency personally was a bit hectic one for me.
Okay.
So I started preparing after my house urgency.
Right.
A full-fledged preparation, I would say, was about 1.5 months after my house urgency ended.
Right.
Till then, I was trying to get into the track of studying for long hours.
Right.
Once I got, after 1 month, I'd say I got into the track.
I think, I think your words, many students will want to listen from, because there are many people who have started PG entrance after internship. According to you, approximately how many months of intense preparation is required? And in your preparation journey, approximately how many hours did you devote for preparation per day? Some words on that.
So I believe that personally, however fast you can start your intense preparation, you must start it. I personally started, I had 9 months to from my internship end to right now.
Right.
So I started my intense preparation almost 1 month after my house urgency ended.
Okay.
I started studying initially about 8 hours. I gradually scaled it up. Towards the end, it became 12-13 hours.
Right.
And I feel personally what helped me maintain that momentum was the fact that I took a break every 7 days.
Right.
A half-a-day break I took.
Okay.
Because I sort of believe our body is like a car.
Okay.
So in order to get a car running, you have to also make sure that you fill the petrol.
Correct.
So that is something that helped me personally.
Right. You said about intense preparation phase. At some point during your preparation phase, did you feel exhausted? Because I've seen many students telling me, sir, I feel drained out.
Yes, sir.
So to maintain momentum throughout these long months is not very easy.
Yes,
so did you have points where you felt exhausted?
Yes, sir. I definitely had points where I felt exhausted. That day I made sure I took the other half of the day off, because usually I did not want to spend a lot of time on my breaks.
Okay.
So I made sure it was maximum of once a week, the break. And then I also made sure I stayed in contact with my friends almost every other day. I used to talk to my friends. So I think that is something that helps us regenerate mentally as well, since studying for long times alone can be draining on you.
Got it. So Dr. Phillip, regarding your entrance preparation journey, I just want to know, at what point of time did you start seriously preparing for PG entrance? Was it during the early days of your MBBS, or were you starting it after internship only?
So just like a lot of people, I subscribed to an entrance preparation platform in second year, but that was just for preparation for college exams and all.
Okay.
And I also read a lot of standard textbooks, even the parts that were not necessary for the examinations, university examinations. So that was really a fun activity for me.
Right.
So I didn't do any questions at that time. Even during final year, I didn't do any questions, sir.
Right.
But during my house urgency, I started doing the MCQs.
Okay.
I started preparing custom modules and doing them.
Right.
May 2025 examination, my intense preparation started in January 2025, sir.
Right.
So I had only 4.5 months left for me. I started preparation with around 12 hours, and it extended to 13-14 hours.
Right.
But I didn't take any breaks during that time, but I would advise anyone to do that.
Okay.
Because the final week before the exam, I was really burnt out. I couldn't prepare well during that period.
Right.
So taking breaks in between is important, sir.
Right. So Dr. Vishal, you had subscribed to which course of DocTutorials?
So I had subscribed to the online live courses of DocTutorials.
Online live course. Now, in DocTutorials, we have got this online live course. And again, this is one course that is attended by many students. So can you just tell the viewers, why did you opt for that particular course, online live course, for your entrance preparation?
Yes, sir. So I personally believe that entrance preparation is a ball game of how you discipline yourself, how consistently you're able to stay on track. So one thing that I found differentiated from online live lectures compared versus pre-recorded lectures is that when online live lectures, you have a schedule set out in front of you by people who are experienced in teaching in such a platform and who have mentored multiple students in entrance preparation since many years. So I felt that is one thing that really differentiates an online live course from or a face-to-face course from a pre-recorded class as such.
Right. And I think, you mentioned about, structuring the course.
Yes.
Now, this is again important because sometimes I've seen students who watch pre-recorded. Yes, there are good toppers. They have got good ranks with pre-recorded. But again, I feel that if you are not that much motivated to put a schedule for yourself, it is always better to have a schedule, that you have made by faculty so that, you can move ahead as well. So yeah, that is why he has chosen the online live platform of DocTutorials, right? So now coming to the content in the online live lectures. So you have got exposure to multiple faculties. And how did you like the content in the online live lectures of DocTutorials?
Yes, sir. I believe that the content is something that really provides us everything we need for the entrance examination. When the content is prepared, I believe it's prepared in such a way that is not too vast that we cannot revise. At the same time, we have everything that is needed for the preparation as well.
Right.
In addition to that, I feel being updated is something that is very important in these exams, since new updates or the recent change in protocols are something that is recently asked in many exams, especially the INI pattern exams.
Right.
So I feel in that way, the online live lectures were really helpful for me,
right,
and played a big difference.
Right. And what is your opinion about workbook-based classes? Because all these online live lectures that we do, they are all workbook-based.
Yes.
So workbook is a partially filled document, and obviously you will have images as well, which definitely cuts down the amount of work that we had to you'll have to do. Because see, when I was preparing for my entrance exam, when we used to watch, in fact, we attended face-to-face classes. At that time, there was no app available. So even if there was an image that was shown, we'll have to draw it.
Yeah.
So that, we can later have a look at it. So what is your take on these workbook-based lectures?
Yes, so like you said, image-based questions are one big difference from handwritten notes. In addition to that, I'd say that, like you said, for a lot of people, if we don't have a pre-made document made for us, a lot of time goes in writing those filler parts itself, and having a workbook half filled out, in which you just have to fill out the important parts, has definitely played a big change, right, especially in such a scenario where time is limited and
right,
you need to study as much as you can.
Right. And now, Dr. Phillip, something I want to ask you is regarding the quick revision videos in DocTutorials, because since you started your preparation relatively late in the month of Jan, you had a few months only. Now, to watch the entire lectures during this small phase will be difficult. So from what I understand, you primarily relied upon the QRP videos. So can you just tell the viewers on how useful were the QRP videos in covering the content, and that too in a short span of time?
So I had some pre-made notes with me, but
okay,
the retention by just reading the notes is relatively low compared to watching videos.
Okay.
So I use the QRP videos for my preparation, the video modules. So the QRP videos are not too short or not too long.
Okay.
Covers everything. I think it is in the Goldilocks zone for that.
Okay.
So I can say that if you have a basic idea, a basic grasp of the concepts, then QRP videos are enough, along with the question bank,
okay,
to cover the entire syllabus for examination.
Right. And what would you suggest maybe to an intern? Will you suggest these QRP videos if an intern has some basic idea during his MBBS days itself? Do you think that someone who is giving the first chance, when you prepare during internship with whatever time you have got, do you think these QRP videos are a good source?
Sir, if they have enough basic knowledge and their MBBS days were sound, then I think that watching the QRP videos by supplementing with some question banks or
right,
subject-wise test or test and discussion, then that would be enough to boost their preparation to get
right,
a good rank.
Right. So Vishal, as you said, your primary source of preparation was DocTutorials, and out of the video lectures that you have watched, any favorite faculties, and if yes, why? I'm sure this is a difficult question, but still.
Yes, sir. So obviously having favorite faculty per se is hard for me to say, but some faculties whose videos had really helped me out were Dr. Vandana Ma'am of Pathology. So especially since Pathology is a subject that plays a very important role in tests like INI CET. Your videos, since I had followed you since the end of my 4th year itself.
Yeah.
Then I'd also like Dr. Sandeep Sir's Pediatrics, since he covers pediatrics in a very conceptual as well as systemic manner, in such a way that we do not miss anything in pediatrics.
Right.
then Rajiv Sir of ENT as well, who had taught ENT in such a way, in that ENT for me personally was a very weak subject.
Right.
And I had seen really my percentile going up after his classes, right, and a one-time revision.
Right. And again, Vishal, coming to the lectures regarding medicine. First of all, we know that medicine is vast.
Yes, sir.
And I see that many students skip medicine as well for entrance, thinking that, maybe touching areas of micropatho would cover, maybe pharma would cover medicine. Well, there are a lot of integrated questions, definitely. But again, in the lectures of DocTutorials of Medicine, what did you like about these lectures?
So what I believe is that when an experienced faculty takes a class for us, they already kind of know what is needed, what is not needed, what is the common integrated part. So I had full trust in my teachers, so that they would not be teaching me any extra, or would not be teaching me any less than what I needed, exactly what I needed. In addition to that, like you said, medicine is a very vast subject. There are many aspects of medicine that I have been repeated over the years. So like INICET is an exam in which we can kind of have an idea about what is coming.
Right.
And I feel you have really elaborated upon those parts very well.
Right.
So that we can, build upon that even more.
Right. And when did you actually start with medicine? Because I think you started attending my lectures during your final MBBS. And then probably I had taken some lectures for you for your final MBBS exams as well. So can you just take us through the journey, like from there? Because was at that particular point of time that you joined DocTutorials?
So at that, when I started preparing in 4th year for the university exam, not for entrance per se, I knew that medicine was a very vast subject. People say you have to read standard books like Harrison, but in such a short amount of time, it may not be practically possible. So what I felt with your lectures is that you had covered everything Harrison needs without the complicated explanation tables, etc. And that really helps us have a grasp on the subject.
Okay.
And we know what to read after that. So that even if we read a standard book, we know exactly what is going on and how to approach the particular topic as well.
And did you watch the QRP videos of medicine? And did that actually help to summarize topics?
Yes, sir. So like you said, medicine is a vast topic, and we may not be able to go through the main notes towards the end when we have towards the last revision, when we have a well-limited time. So QRP really helped me summarize the important subjects. Like, for example, many videos are like 2-3 minutes long.
Right.
And even when we read those notes, it may take longer than that.
Right.
So I felt the QRP videos were really helpful in that way, in that you could really summarize a vast subject like medicine into such small capsules, right, that contain everything we need.
And again, to the viewers, if you go through my QRP videos, you will see that these are all very small snippet-like videos. Some of them 3-4 minutes, some of them 8-9 minutes. So basically, I've tried to summarize without compromising too much on the content. In fact, most of the relevant points that I've covered in my routine lectures, I've tried to incorporate into the QRP videos as well. So Vishal, regarding pathology. So we all know that for INI CET, pathology is one very important subject. So how useful were the pathology lectures in DocTutorials for your preparation?
So like you had said, pathology is, I would say, the single most important subject for INI CET. Not only the pure pathology questions, but when you integrate pathology with many other subjects, you get a vast number of questions.
Right.
So Vandana Ma'am, what she did was, she really taught us well from the basic general pathology itself, which is one part that INICET really likes, the general pathology part. And she has covered the entire sort of Robbins in her classes, which is with her notes, which are hardly 300 pages.
Right.
And covering such a vast book with a vast amount of knowledge in 300 pages is really a marvelous thing to do, and I really thank ma'am for that. Right. In addition to that, she had routinely created multiple quizzes and multiple other reels. Like, for example, there was a question about surface plasmon resonance. She had covered that in one of her Instagram reels. So I felt that if you really cover all her classes, Telegram group, WhatsApp group, etc., there's no question you can't attend in pathology. And that really plays a big deciding role in an exam like INICET.
Now, Vishal, coming to the pediatric lectures in the DocTutorials app. So Dr. Sandeep Sharma sir is actually a favorite faculty of, in fact, most of the students. So what do you have got to say about the pediatric lectures in DocTutorials?
Yes, sir. For Sandeep sir really played a big role in me getting such a good rank. For me, pediatrics was one subject that I was always weak at, especially the general pediatrics topics like development milestones or neonatology. These are really INI CET favorite topics.
Okay.
And me personally, pediatrics was one of my worst subjects, personally, if you are in my university as well. So I think Sandeep sir really helped to build a base as well as all the subsequent steps as well. In that, he, like I've said before, he categorically covers everything that we need.
Right. And
his live class lectures had only 120 pages as well.
Okay.
Which really helps me revise the subject multiple times.
Right.
Since in this multiple revisions is key and not per se covering a large amount of detailed notes at one time.
So Dr. Phillip, regarding the revision videos in the DocTutorials app, out of the videos that you have watched for your entrance preparation, any specific faculty mentions?
Sir, I really like the classes of Vandana Ma'am, then Sandeep Sir, Rahul Rajiv Sir. Then in INICET, the short subjects are also really important.
Okay.
They have a really good weightage in INICET compared to NEET. So I really like the classes of the Anastasia Ma'am and Swati Ma'am, and also Pallavi Ma'am.
Right. Right. I think that's again very important because to cover these short subjects and that too saving time is very important. I think in revision videos, I think most of the content Swati Ma'am and Pallavi Ma'am, they have beautifully concised as well. Now coming to individual faculties, first of all regarding medicine. So I just want to know, like, how did you utilize these revision videos? Was it like you watched it and then went to the QBank, or was it like retrospectively coming back to the lectures?
In the QBank, there are some questions that covers the entire concept, and like we can use it as an active recall mode.
Right.
So the concepts might not be clear. So even if we read the main videos or we watch the main videos, some concepts might not be clear. That will be cleared by the question bank and the explanation that's provided. Sir.
Right. So regarding these medicine videos, like did these videos actually make your concept building and understanding easier?
Yes, sir. Actually, INICET is focused on a few topics. They go into depth of the topics. So actually, the medicine videos, the QRP videos were framed in such a manner that touch these topics more. And
right.
So because of the time limitation, they skip the comparatively unimportant topics.
Right, right.
So it's really not wise to watch everything,
right.
Because even if we have time, retention is a problem, sir.
Right.
So we have to be wise about
right.
categorizing the important topics. Sir.
Right. So basically, he's talking about prioritizing, because as he rightly said, there are certain topics from where the questions are asked more frequently, but you will have to go to the depth of those topics, especially for INI CET. That is again very important. Now coming to the other faculties, you said about medicine. Now coming to the pathology lectures of Vandana Ma'am. Obviously, pathology is a vast subject. So did going through the QRP videos of Vandana Ma'am help you, cover probably one of the most important subjects of INI CET?
Yes, the pathology that is asked in INI CET is not just about cell death or neoplasia or systemic pathology. They also ask about the methods and practices used in pathology and also some recent advances. So
right.
Vandana Ma'am has covered the recent advances like chromothrepsis, SOX, PAX mutations and all. And also she also has incorporated the fixatives and
right.
the fluids and all.
Right.
So these were really important for INICET.
Right.
Even though this time that type of questions was less.
Right.
In the last May INI,
right.
a lot of questions
from the vacuoteners. So,
yes,
so many questions actually come. Right. Okay. Then coming to the short subjects, regarding Pallavi Ma'am, anything you want to say about Madam?
Actually, I have only watched the dermatology videos of Pallavi Ma'am. They were really comprehensive. They included everything that is needed for dermatology. And the question bank is also really nice that we can cover the entire topic, sir.
Right. So coming to anesthesia QRP videos. So your take on Swati Ma'am's QRP videos?
Sir, more than the QRP videos, I would like to mention about the question bank, sir. By doing the question banks, we'll get an approach to the methods of ventilation, the critical care, and also the anesthesia techniques and general anesthetics and all. So these are really important for INI CET perspective. And I was able to get a grasp of that because of the question bank, sir.
Right. And coming to pediatrics, your take on the QRP videos of DocTutorials?
Actually, pediatrics was one of my favorite subjects. One of the reasons was that I really like the lectures of Sandeep sir. So he explains everything from the base,
right,
so that we'll be able to understand it. Pediatrics was one of the subjects that I covered during last INI also from the base, from the main videos. So I can say that the main videos are really nice and really comprehensive. It covers everything, sir.
Right. So Dr. Vishal, any particular faculty you want to mention that made, say, a relatively weak subject into a strong subject?
Yes, sir. So, like many of the people watching this, I had not studied a lot in my third year, and as a result, I had scored really low in subjects like ENT, where I had passed my university just by a few 2-3 marks. So, I'd say when coming into the entrance preparation mode, in my first grand test as well, I had scored a measly 35 percentile in ENT.
Okay.
Even after reading from other sources, I could not get it really above. Right. Then came Rajiv Sir's ENT videos.
Okay.
And the jump was really marvelous, if I'm to say it in a small, concise way. In that, my percentile, which was always around the 40-50 percentile, suddenly went up to 95-97 percentile. And to have really have done that, I could not have done it without Rajiv Sir's videos, as well as his question banks, which if you do both of those, I'm sure there's nothing that's left to cover in ENT.
So Dr. Vishal, regarding the DocTutorials QBank, so it is a faculty curated QBank, and how was DocTutorials QBank useful in your entrance preparation?
So DocTutorials QBank, like you had mentioned, is a faculty curated QBank. So when something is made by doctors themselves, you kind of know that you don't have to worry about the questions themselves or if the answers are wrong. And something that I'd like to really mention is that through all the question banks, everything is covered, in the sense that quite literally all the permutation combinations, so to say, it's all covered in the QBank, all the concepts that are needed. And obviously, since it's not possible to cover every concept in the online live lecture, since we are only trying to do it in so much time, I'd say that the QBank perfectly complements these two together. Right. And doing these two together will really help you score up your ranks much more.
Right. So basically, it's talking about the sync between the live lectures that he attended in the DocTutorials app and the question bank.
Yes.
Right. Now, another thing I want to ask you is a general question on how to use a QBank, because I've seen many students listening to lectures, maybe if it is face-to-face or online live, but not practicing enough questions.
Yes.
So what is according to you, what is the right way to use a QBank?
So there are, I've seen two types of ways of using it. One is that the people do it immediately after the watching a class.
Okay.
And one is that people read a subject and after a few days they do the QBank, so that it helps serve as a mini repetition in a sense. I personally, my way of approaching is that I would watch a certain section of lectures, like not necessarily every lecture as say. Let's say like 3-4 lectures I would watch, and then I would do a QBank, since I feel that for me it was the correct balance.
Right.
If I watched a lecture and then did a QBank, I felt it took too much time.
Right.
And if I watched all the lectures and then did the QBank, I would kind of get burned out from reading or watching so much.
Right.
So I would watch a certain block of videos and then do the QBank, and then I would continue it on again and again.
Right. So Dr. Phillip, regarding the DocTutorials QBank, so how useful was the QBank in your preparation?
Sir, I used the main QBank rather than the QRP QBank.
Okay.
So because I was already using the QRP video, so to complement that, I used the main QBank.
Okay.
These questions were somewhat tricky, or like the ones that are usually asked in exam.
Right.
Scenario based and all.
Right.
So especially in pharmacology, medicine, pediatrics and all. So this gives us some idea regarding the level of our preparation.
Right.
So we'll be able to cover a lot of topic points that are not covered in the QRP videos.
Right.
And then I used to annotate the QRP notes with the additional points that I mentioned in the question bank, sir.
Right. So if I am getting it right, in your case, the time for preparation was less.
Yes, sir.
So you relied mainly on the QRP videos.
Yes, sir.
But again, you did not want to miss too much on the content, which is why you did the main question bank, and whatever points were missing from the revision videos, you try to complement it via the QBank, right? Okay, right. Now, again, what is the method of solving or maybe doing a question bank? There are different methods, but what was your method of doing the QBank?
So there is no one method, right method for doing the question bank, sir. I have seen a lot of people, other toppers also. Some of them did the question bank, used the question bank solely for preparation, sir. They were actually had a grasp of the subject during the professional years, sir. But in my case, I used the QRP videos initially, then used the QBank, sir, for preparation.
Right. So now, Dr. Vishal, we'll talk about doing grand test. My first question regarding this is, what were the number of correct answers in the first GT that you gave?
So the first grand test that I gave had 120 correct answers.
120 correct answers. And what was your best performance in any grand test?
So the best performance that I got was 180 correct.
180.
And 1 skipped.
Right. So which means you had a transformation journey from 120 correct to 180. So I think you are the right person to tell the viewers on the importance of grand test. So first, what is the importance of doing grand test? Because many students feel we'll do grand test once all the portions are done, maybe a couple of them. What is the importance of doing grand test in preparation?
So what many people don't realize is that grand test per se is not a learning tool. It is more of a testing tool in the name grand test itself. Yeah. So I'd say that rather than using this as a way of assessing your knowledge or how much you know, how much you don't, you must use this as a benchmark. So let's say someone got a grand test score of 90.
Okay.
Now you don't need to get demotivated on the fact that you only knew 90 correct. But what you can use is as a benchmark for the next grand test.
Right.
And what is more important is that rather than the amount of number of corrects you got wrong, what is your general trend?
Right.
So I feel that grand test 1, it is really important for us in training us to sit for 3.5 hours. Since, during the exam, an adrenaline rush might not help us feel bored as such, right. But still sitting on a chair for 3.5 hours is not something that you can't do if you've not been trained in that. Right. Another thing that I say is that many people are afraid of a so-called plateau in a grand test, or that if the scores reduce. All I can say is that if you never do grand test once you've plateaued, you're never going to see the rise after that.
Right.
So I'd say that keep doing grand tests, and eventually the more you study, the more your ranks will also go.
And regarding the quality of questions in the DocTutorials GT, so how did it actually help you, understand your weak areas and maybe do the necessary rectifications?
Yes, sir. So one really good aspect of DocTutorials grand test that I liked was the video-based grand test.
Right.
So I attended all of them, not
right.
almost. I attended all of them.
Right.
So what one big difference is that let's say in a question, an answer key is given. So we might not know what's the important part of that, and why exactly has the examiner framed the question in such a way, what were they trying to test, and what is their approach to the answer. So with the video-based grand test, we get to know exactly that. What is the examiner testing, and how is their approach to solving the question. And in addition, like I've said, we don't really know what is the important part in some answers.
Right.
So any video-based and GT in that sense is really helpful,
right.
Since they highlight the important parts.
Right. Okay. Dr. Vishal, another common query by the students is how frequently to give the grand test. Obviously, this will depend on the phase of preparation that you are in. But again, can you just give them a rough guide regarding that?
So for one thing that I'd recommend every student is give a baseline grand test,
okay,
to know where exactly you're starting from. Then I would, after that, in the initial phase of preparation, I'd say once a month is fine.
Right.
Towards the middle of the preparation, you might want to bring that down to once every 2 weeks.
Okay.
And once you're in towards the final leg of your preparation, you need to definitely bring it down to once a week, or if you can, even less than that also.
Right. So regarding the importance of grand test in your exam preparation phase, how crucial were giving grand test?
So grand tests are really important in assessing how much our preparation, how much our strengths are, and to assess whether we are on the right track.
Right.
So initially I started doing grand tests once I completed around 8 subjects.
Right.
I used an approach where I started watching QRP videos. Along with that, I did the question bank,
right,
from the same subject and also from another subject, sir, to save time, because I had once prepared in the last year. So I had an idea about all the subjects, sir.
Right.
So once I covered about 8 subjects, either from QRP videos or the question bank, I started giving the grand test, sir. Initially, my score was around 135, sir.
Okay.
After that, I had given grand test once in 10 to 12 days, sir, initially. And once I reached the phase of 155 to 160 questions correct, then I was really afraid to give another grand test because I was afraid whether the score might drop or not.
Okay.
So again, sir had told me that you have to give grand test to like 150 is your baseline now. You have to improve that.
Right.
Without doing more grand test, how will you know how your preparation is? This is only a grand test. This is not the main exam. So you have to give more grand tests.
Right.
So that's the approach I followed, sir.
Right. Okay. So Dr. Phillip, regarding the DocTutorials Grand Test, how impressed were you by the quality of questions in the DocTutorials Grand Test, and also regarding the video-based Grand Test? Because it is something unique that we do at DocTutorials. Your take on that?
Sir, the questions are really good, sir. They're really standard questions. And something I have to tell that I had to review the GTs the same day itself because I had a limitation in time.
Right.
So after doing 3 hours of grand test, then it was almost impossible for me to read the explanations.
Got it.
So in that sense, the video explanations was really important, sir, because I didn't have to put much effort to get the explanation. And
these are all very short explanations,
yes,
1, 2 minutes, 3 minutes videos, right? Okay. So Vishal, now coming to another aspect of the entrance preparation is mentorship. Now, you were an online live batch student, and for students of our online live batch, we have got a exclusive WhatsApp group with all the faculties also in that WhatsApp group. So you can ask doubts, the faculties actually solve the queries. So how responsive were the faculties in that group, and how did that mentorship actually help you?
Yes, sir. So like I mentioned, we are shifting from an increasingly live class based face-to-face approach to an online live approach, which many students might prefer more.
Right.
So for me personally, being an online live class person, I could not really ask all the questions during class itself, since you will have many doubts during while solving the QBank itself. So I feel that the WhatsApp group in which we were all added, all the students were added, really helped me clear a lot of my doubts. And having a faculty themselves provide an answer for you really helps to clarify what exactly was the question meaning, and was there any change, any new update, etc.
Right. And also, like some of our faculties are also active in the WhatsApp group, putting these quizzes and all.
Yes, sir.
So did that also help you?
Yes, sir. So I was in Dr. Vandana Ma'am's Pathology WhatsApp group.
Okay.
And she, like I mentioned before, her quizzes, in addition to her QBank, really provide us some newer technologies, newer techniques, and some top-notch questions that we might not have seen anywhere else. Right. That really a practicing pathologists might know otherwise.
I think those points would actually give you the extra edge.
Yes,
so it's basically layered learning, wherein all the basic funda you're learning in the class itself. Then you're doing the question bank to test your knowledge and maybe get a few additional points there. And then to give another extra edge, maybe these WhatsApp groups and maybe a few Instagram reels where madam actually post, these small snippets which are very useful, definitely might have helped you. And also for the queries that you asked in the WhatsApp group where the faculty is responsive.
Yes, sir. I had all my answers, all my questions responded within an hour time period of around 24 hours itself. And that was something that I really found helpful.
Right. So, Dr. Phillip, you were also there in our INICET group, which had all the faculties as well. So, obviously, during your exam preparation phase, you will have doubts. And since your learning was more of app-based rather than a face-to-face class, you will have to depend on such groups for solving doubts. So, how useful was the INICET group in your preparation?
Sir, while preparing, I had a lot of doubts while solving the questions, whether one question was right or not, or whether the answer would be, there will be
controversial questions.
So I had a lot of doubts. So even if I posted the questions at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock at night, I used to get answers in the same day at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock or within 24 hours. So that was really helpful. So that my preparation was not hindered at any point, especially Gayatri Ma'am from Obstetrics. Rajiv Ma'am and Vandana Ma'am.
Right.
They used to explain the doubts we had within a short period of time. So.
Right. Okay. So I hope all the viewers have benefited from this insightful discussion with these two wonderful talkers. So Dr. Phillip and Dr. Vishal, thanks a lot for sharing your insights with all the dear students. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.